विकास भैया आप अनम्यूट हो सकते हैं। कमलवरा दीदी, कैन यू स्टार्ट योर वीडियो? कमलवरा दीदी, तनुश्री दीदी का कुछ नेटवर्क इश्यू है। कैन यू स्टार्ट दी मीटिंग?
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi. Didi, not able to switch on my camera. Give me 1 second. Yes.
दीदी आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
Each and everyone present here, a warm welcome to all of you. Yes, please, Didi. Continue. Please continue.
नहीं दीदी, आपको ही बोलना है, आप ही है।
Okay, Didi. Okay. Just a minute. Jai Shri Krishna to each and everyone present here. A warm welcome to all of you. Now it's time, as we all know, this is the session. We are here at present. So now it's time for, before getting start the session, it is time for prayer. So for prayer, I would like to call, can you unmute? Yes.
जी, ज्योति दीदी।
Jyotika Kaure Didi, please welcome. Jai Shri Krishna Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna. Shall I start? Jai Shri Krishna. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kausachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you so much, Didi, for this beautiful prayer. Now it's time for Deep Prajwalan. So whenever we start anything, so what we do Deep Prajwalana. So for Deep Prajwalan, I would like to call
Lakshmi didi.
Yes, sorry, it's time for Deep Prajwalana. Deep, please. It's time for Deep Prajwalana.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृतां कलहंसकृतावासां वरदां शारदां नुमः।
Thank you so much, Didi, for this beautiful Deep Prajwalana. So after Vivechana, whoever has a question answer, please ask your question and you can switch on your camera also. Now it's time for our Vivechaka today's. So we are fortunate to have with us distinguished speaker tonight who brings invaluable expertise and insights that will indeed make a fruitful and enriching experience. So I am honored to invite our respected Vikas Vaidya. He is a native of Pune He is award winner in Geeta Kanthastikaran, Sringeri Vidyapeeth by Param Pujya Jagadguru Shankaracharya Ji. Dada trains Geeta Pratis and taking all the 4 levels. He has a good command on more than 5 languages, Hindi, English, Marathi, and so on. He's the, he's the senior most in our Geeta Pariwar. And it is my privilege. It is my privilege to introduce him in front of you all. Please, over to you. Jai Shri Krishna Dada. Pranam Dada.
जय श्री कृष्ण। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। पूज्य स्वामी जी के चरणों में कोटि कोटि नमन। Today we'll start with Adhyay 7th, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Last week we concluded the Atma Sanyam Yoga, 6th Adhyay. Now today's Adhyay that we are going to start, I think we'll cover it in 2 sessions. There are total 30 shlokas in this Adhyay. All shlokas are by Shri Krishna. All are in Anushtup Chanda. Now we just last week concluded 6th Adhyay, and we remember that the end of the Adhyay, Paramatma had said, while ending 6th Adhyay, Paramatma described the glory of a yogi. The shloka was, Tapasvebhyo diko yogi, Jnanibhyo pimato dikaha, Karmebhyascha diko yogi, Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. Paramatma said to Arjuna, you become yogi. Arjuna, Tasmad, therefore, you become yogi, because yogi is superior to tapasvi. Tapasvi is that person who does tapas. Tapas, we see many tapasvis in that Sinhasta and Kumbh Melas. So those tapasvis who do some arduous task of standing on one leg for many years, or standing upside down on the head for many years, or piercing the body at different places, those kind of tapasvis, they worship Paramatma through that route of tapa. So Paramatma said, yogi is superior to tapasvi, and he is superior to jnani bhyopi matodikaha. A person who has acquired knowledge by reading Vedas and different granthas, he is superior to even those jnanis. And he is superior to sakam karma yogi. That's why you become yogi. And such a yogi who is above tapasvi, above jnani, and above that sakam karma yogi, he gets to know me in principle tatpataha. So such a yogi gets to know Paramatma in principle. Now, how is that form of Paramatma which this yogi comes to know? Arjuna may be having this kind of question in his mind. But how is that form of Paramatma which this yogi perceives? So Shri Krishna, he knew that Arjuna may have this kind of question. So he starts unfolding the secret of Paramatma in this Adhyay, which is Jnana Vijnana Yoga. So this Adhyay, in short, there are, Paramatma says, there are, we'll get a small summary of what exactly this Adhyay is going to teach us. Paramatma says in this Adhyay that there are 2 forms of Paramatma. One is Avyakta and another is Vyakta, unmanifested and manifested. 2 forms of Paramatma, Paramatma is going to explain to us. The manifested form of Paramatma is this universe in which we live, which is around us. This is called Apara Prakriti. We'll go into details of each shloka, but this is just a brief of this Adhyay. So this is called Apara Prakriti, the universe. Same Apara Prakriti is there in us also. Our body is Apara Prakriti. And this Apara Prakriti is insentient. That means it is achetan, jada. It has no chetana, it has no life force. So this is jada chetana, jada prakriti, that is called the apara prakriti. This is achetan and asamvedanshil, no chetana in it. And behind this apara prakriti, that means behind this universe, behind our body, there is another Prakriti of Paramatma that is called Para Prakriti. This same thing, and this Para Prakriti is sentient. That means it is having Chetana, it is having Samvedana. So those parameters which were absent in Apara are very much there in Para Prakriti. So this is the difference between Para and Apara, which will go into details when we proceed with the Adhyaya further. Now, Paramatma is the sole reason behind both these Prakritis. And what is Jnana and what is Vijnana? The knowledge about Apara Prakriti, that is that insentient, achetan, jada Prakriti, is called Vijnana. And the knowledge about Para Prakriti, that means the Chetana, the life force behind that Apara Prakriti, is called Jnana. So knowledge about our Jivatma, knowledge about Paramatma is Jnana, knowledge about our body, knowledge about universe is Vijnana. And since Paramatma is going to describe details of both these, Jnana and Vijnana, this Adhyaya is called Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Now we need to know that Paramatma is the sole reason. Paramatma is the sole reason behind both these Prakritis, Apara and Para. All manifested and unmanifested forms of Prakriti are Paramatmas only. In Shloka 8 to 11 of this Adhyaya, Paramatma will also explain to us his vibhutis, his opulences. That means his forms, fragments of Paramatma. Actually, 10th Adhyaya is a Vibhuti Yoga, in which Paramatma has explained around 84 vibhutis of Paramatma, opulences. This 7th Adhyaya also covers some of Paramatma's vibhutis. 9th Adhyaya also gives some vibhutis. So from 8 to 11, Paramatma will explain his vibhutis. Now all these forms and the three gunas, the forms Apara and Para, and three gunas of Prakriti, that is Sattva, Rajo, Tamo, mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance or mode of inertia, that is Tamo. These get emerged from Paramatma only. This is what we learn in this Adhyaya. And this is called Maya, Maya of the material world, which consists of birth and death. And this Maya of Paramatma can be crossed over, can be ferried over only by the grace of Paramatma. Ignorant people get bewildered, engrossed in the Maya of the material world. In the Maya of material world, and in the process, they forget to concentrate on the Para Prakriti of this Maya, which is holding this Maya. In the devotees, which he has, Artha, Jidnyasu, Artharthi, and Jnani. We'll learn more details about this in the coming shlokas. So there are 4 devotees Paramatma explains in this Adhyaya, who keep trying for the bliss of Paramatma. Of all the 4 types of devotees, Jnani, the wise devotee, is the most superior, Paramatma says. He experiences the fact of Vasudeva Sarvam Iti and Jnana and Vijnana, about the unmanifested and manifested form of Paramatma. He experiences this himself, and thus the man of self-realization does know both the forms of Paramatma and how this entire thing works. Now Paramatma is explaining this same thing in this Adhyaya, and as I said, this knowledge about Apara Prakriti is Vijnana, and knowledge about Para Prakriti is Jnana. We are fortunate enough to learn both Jnana and Vijnana through this Adhyaya. This Adhyaya is also called the nature of spirit and the spirit of nature. Nature of spirit and spirit of nature. So this is Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Further, if Bhagavad-Gītā is divided based on the messages of Paramatma, it gets divided in 3 parts of 6 Adhyaya each. The big sentence that is called Mahavakya. Mahavakya from Vedas is Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi. It means that you are. It represents 3 divisions: Tat, Tvam, and Asi. Tat, Tvam, and Asi. The first 6 adhyay of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Karma Sannyasa Yoga, and Atma Samyam Yoga. These first 6 adhyay of Bhagavad Gita, they are the first part of Gita, and they are related to the Jivatma, the fragment of Paramatma, that is called Tvam. Tvam. So they are related to Tvam, that is the Jivatma. Adhyay 7 to 12, that is this Jnana Vijnana Yoga, Akshar Brahma Yoga, Raja Vidya Raja Gurya Yoga, Vibhuti Yoga, Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, and then Bhakti Yoga. This 7 to 12, this 6 adhyay, they are in the category of Tat. They tell us about the Paramatma Tattva. So they are called Tat. And the adhyas 13 to 18, they represent Asi. Asi means the unification of Jivatma and Paramatma. Unification of first 6 adhyay with the adhyay 7 to 12 is achieved in adhyay 13 to 18, and that is called Asi, unification of Jivatma and Paramatma. So the sentence becomes Tattvamasi. In short, Jivatma is Paramatma. That is the message of Bhagavad Gita. Jivatma is Paramatma, Tattvamasi. Now, since we completed 6 adhyay last week, we are going to start the next section of Bhagavad Gita, that is Tat. That is from this adhyay till 12th adhyay, we are going to learn more and more about Tat. That is that Tattva of Paramatma. From 1st to 6th adhyay, we learned about ourselves. Naine Chindani Shastrani Nirandri, all that characteristics of our Jivatma. Now 7 to 12, we'll learn the attributes of Tat, that is of Paramatma. So with this short introduction, we'll start with first shloka of this adhyay. Paramatma says in the first shloka of this adhyay, we'll start with Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā अथ सप्तमोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्या सक्तमनः पार्थ योगं युञ्जन्मदाश्रयः असंशयं समग्रं माय यथा ज्ञास्यसि तच्छृणु. Maya, Paramatma says to me, asaktamanaha, with mind which is attached to me, is asaktamanaha. Yogam, this self-realization of yoga, mat ashrayaha, taking shelter under me, asamshaya, without any doubt. Samagram, total, completely. Nyasasi is you can get to know. Tat is that, and shrunu is to hear, to listen. So in short, Paramatma says, Maya saktamana partha yogan yunjan madashraya asamshayam samagram mai yatha dhyasya tachno. In short, Paramatma says, he whose mind is attached to me, Maya saktamana, his mind is attached to me alone, has not to think of me, but his mind always remains absorbed in me. He doesn't have to artificially think and bring it to me. Automatically it happens that his mind gets attached to me. He is not in the least attached to the sensual pleasures of this world or to the next world, and remains indifferent to comfort, name, fame, and other heavenly or earthly acquisitions. He remains all the time attached to me, Maya Saktamana. And the yogi who knows this, yogi who practices this particular message of Paramatma, Paramatma says, I shall share with you in full the knowledge both of this phenomenal world and about the Paraprakriti, that means of the Paramatma himself. And after knowing this, for you, nothing else will remain to be known. Maya Saktavana Partha, Yoga Yunjan Vadashraya, Asamshayam Samagram Mai, Yatha Dhyasya Tachno. You will not need to know anything else after you know this. This is the complete Jnana and Vidyan. Now there are two ways by which the mind may get attached to Paramatma. The yogi, the person who is practicing yoga, who attaches with his heart only to the God. He adores him all the time. His mind, by grace of God, is attached to him. Example. There was a man who was searching for a job. He went to a businessman, and then that businessman said, okay, I will give you some job. Today, since you have come, your salary will be 500 rupees per day. Every day you collect your salary after the end of the day. Okay, fine. And what job I have to do? Okay, I'll find a job for you, but from today you sit in that corner of the room. So the fellow sits in the corner of the room, waiting for a job to be given to him. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. He's waiting for the job. Nothing is coming. Finally, it is 6 o'clock. He gets up from his place. He goes to the businessman and he says, sir, the day is over. I want my 500 rupees. The employer, that means the businessman, says, you're not done any work today. You're just sitting throughout the day. What kind of salary you're asking for? So he said, you asked me to sit. I followed your instructions. My job is to follow your instructions. I followed your instructions in toto. You asked me to sit here. I sat there. So whatever you asked me to do, I did that. Now you definitely owe me this 500 rupees. So the businessman understood the logic and he paid him 500 rupees. That means this person, without doing anything, he got paid just because he got attached to the words that that businessman had given. Now, when a human being is getting something for doing nothing, when we attach our mind to Paramatma, will Paramatma send us empty-handed? He is expecting only to attach our mind to him. Rest, he will take care. So this is how attaching the mind. And then second way to think about it is that God pervades everywhere, in all places. I am sitting in this room, you are sitting in your house, everywhere. He is here, he is there, he is everywhere. So we have to understand this omnipresence of God. We have to always remember Paramatma is omnipresent, sarvavyapi, omniscient, sarvajnani, and omnipotent, sarvashaktiman. So these three attributes of Paramatma, if we remember all the time, we start realizing that Paramatma is around us only all the time. And that is one way of attaching our mind to Paramatma. Now, when you connect to someone, here we are talking of connecting with Paramatma. But let us imagine you connect with some person, then you get attuned to someone, you try to imbibe their attribute in you. You understand that this fellow is definitely a very wise person, and if I try to copy his way of working, I will also progress. So you try to imbibe their attribute, their qualities in you. Our human mind is like a mirror that reflects whatsoever that comes in front of it. Our mind is like a camera lens which captures whatever that is being clicked. The mind thus gets readily influenced. The attributes of people that you hang out with, the attributes of people you get associated with, you think about those people, all this leaves an imprint on your mind. That is why our elderly people always tell us, keep in the company of good people, so that our mind will get imprints of only good people. And we start thinking only in the mode of sattvic, sattvic, not in the mode of passion or not in the mode of ignorance. Now, Sri Krishna says to Arjuna in this sloka that your mind is connected with me, and as this connection is deeply rooted, I will now reveal my attributes to you, including my strength and my opulences, vibhutis. The Lord says, I will do so because by deeply getting connected with me, by deeply getting attached your mind with me, now you have become a part of me. So I will reveal all my attributes, all my vibhutis to you. In our human life, however close the person may be to us, do we reveal the pin of our ATM card? The wife doesn't know the pin of husband's ATM card, and vice versa. But Paramatma here says, I am not going to keep anything secret. Total. Asamshya, I will give you total. I will not hide anything. I will share with you everything about me. We don't share the password of our email with anyone. Paramatma says, I am not going to keep anything up my sleeve. I will give everything to you. And then Lord Krishna, he opens his priceless treasure for Arjuna in this adhyay. The Lord says to Arjuna, as you have taken refuge in me, as you are attached to me, as you have boundless love for me, now you will get to know me in completeness, in totality. Samagram Nyasasi. You will know me in totality. So here you see a yogi mechanically practices yoga methods without focusing his attention with devotion on that omnipresent Paramatma. Last adhyay we learned the techniques of yoga. Chuchodeshe Pratishtapya Sthiramasanamatmana, select a place, all sorts of things we learned. So these are the technicalities of yoga. But we see many yogis who get only deeply engrossed in those technicalities of yoga, and then they forget the main purpose of yoga, of attaining that omnipresent Paramatma. Then such yogis, their mind becomes concentrated only on the path of yoga rather than on the destination or the goal of yoga. The path of yoga is only a means to reach the divine destination. When one communes because of one is he communes with the God, the techniques of yoga, when he attains God, then the techniques of yoga has attained its purpose. A yogi doing yoga perfectly but forgetting the God in the process is nothing more than a spiritual robot. He is a spiritual robot. He is accomplishing the mechanics of yoga without knowing the heart and the spirit of yoga. So Paramatma says, always keep your mind attached to me. Even if you are doing yoga, I am the destination that you don't forget at any moment. The Lord says, Lord is the maker of the rules of salvation, rules of liberation, rules of moksha. He makes the rules who will come and attain me. Definitely, if we are visiting a person, he will decide who will come to his house and who cannot. So the God is deciding the rules, who can come to me and who cannot. So his law is, it is necessary to follow yoga technique with body, but with both devotion and divine, you should follow the yoga practice to reach that all-knowing Paramatma, Father of all. And remember, that Father is waiting more anxiously for the children than what the children like us are longing for him. He is more strongly awaiting for us. And yoga should be practiced with this full devotion and full commitment and full love for the Paramatma. So doing yoga is not only a mechanical practice, it's a practice which should be done with mind attached to Paramatma. Maya Saktamana. Okay, we go to next sloka. Jnananteham savidyanam idam vakshamya sheshataha yajñatvaneho bhuyo jnatavyamavashishyate. Jnanam. Paramatma says Jnanam. Jnanam, that means the Atma Jnana about us. Aham is I. Vijnanam, we learned this. Vijnanam is about that. Prakriti, para prakriti, jnana about that. Vakshami, vakshami, it's I will explain, I will tell. Jnatva, jnatva, knowing. Bhuya anyata jnatvam avashishyate. Paramatma says, as I said to you, after knowing this jnana and vijnan, there is nothing more that you need to know. Now here, Krishna says about his forthcoming sort of pravachan or discourse in this adhyay, with a promise to reveal to Arjuna all the mysteries of the universe, everything that can be known through theoretical knowledge, together with the ultimate wisdom that can be fully understood, perceived only by the self-realization, that means Atma Jnana. So Paramatma is going to share Jnana and Vijnan both. And after realizing every phase of this cosmic wisdom, that jnana about universe and jnana about yourself, that cosmic wisdom, the devotee also becomes omniscient, sarvajnani, like Paramatma. And once you become sarvajnani, omniscient, that means nothing further remains to be known for him in the world. So Paramatma is going to make us omniscient through this adhyay. Lord says, I shall now explain this knowledge, both Jnana and Vijnana, and once you know this, nothing further remains to be known in the world. Shri Krishna explains Jnana and Vijnana. The knowledge pertaining to this tangible, objective world is known as Vijnana. On the other hand, the knowledge on the intangible, pure self is known as Jnana. And Lord will be describing both in great details. Sometimes it is mistakenly believed that the Western scientists have pioneered the advances in science. They found the word science, Vijnana. But this is far from truth. This shloka, which is written 5,500 years back, uses the word Vijnana. So science is not a terminology that comes from Western world. It is a terminology that is coming from our Sanatan Dharma, Vijnana. Paramatma has used this word Vijnana 5,500 years back. So it's not true that science word is coming from the Westerners. When this was said, the Western civilization had not even taken the roots. So Lord adds that there won't be anything more left to be known in this world once you have this Jnana and Vijnana. And really, what else remains to be known after obtaining the knowledge about the universe and about the self? What remains? Nothing else. So everything is known once we know the universe and once we know ourselves. Nothing else remains to be known. Okay, we go to third shloka now. Now, if this is so, that Jnana and Vijnana is so great, then why everybody is not trying for it? Everybody should try hard to get this Jnana and Vijnana. Paramatma is replying to that question in the third shloka. He says, Manushanam sahasreshu kashchid datita siddhaye yatatamapi siddhanam kaschinma vetti tatvata. Manushanam, of the people, sahasreshu, out of many thousands, kashchit, someone, yatati, who keeps trying, siddhaye, for perfection, for liberation, for moksha, siddhanam, of those who have achieved siddhi, salvation, liberation, vetti, to know, tattvataha, in principle, in reality, in fact. So Paramatma says in this shloka, Manushanam sahasreshu kaschid yatita siddhaye yatadamapi siddhanam kaschinmam vetti tattvataha. In second shloka, Sri Krishna had said the knowledge about Jnana and Vijnana, which I will now explain to you, is complete, and after knowing this, nothing else remains to be known. So the question was, why all people don't try to obtain this knowledge? So this is what Paramatma is explaining in this shloka, that out of several thousands, Manushanam sahasreshu, out of several thousands of human beings living in this world, perhaps only few, kashchit, one or two, they try to attain me. And out of those billion seekers who try to attain me, only one will attain me, one will understand me in reality, tattvataha. So it is really rare for the seeker to attain perfection in yoga. It's rare. Now, why is this so? This is because the desire to know God is feeble, is weak. We are interested in getting material gains, not so strong desire for getting God, for seeking God. It is shaky, it is feeble, that desire in us. It props up sometime and it dies out. It is not there permanently in our mind to attain Paramatma. In our mind, permanent thing is about material world, and sometimes we think about Paramatma. So, with which your mind desires the material world. All the time we keep desiring about the material world. Countless numbers of thoughts arise in your mind, and among that big crowd of thoughts, a low own thought of knowing God may also pop up occasionally. It comes, not that it doesn't come, it comes occasionally. And even this one thought is neither persistent nor impassionate. It is there, but not such a strong thought. It is feeble, weak. The mind is full of desires pertaining to this material world and seeking pleasures of comfort, name, fame, excitement, and all that. So your senses are so forceful, your desires are so powerful, moreover, they are never ending. I always give an example of kamanas never ending. It is like a tissue box on your dining table. You take out one tissue, that second comes attached to it. You take the second, third comes attached to it. It is a kamana box. Whenever you see the tissue box on the dining table, remember our kamanas. They are like the tissue box, never ending. Last time we had discussed about one story of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, that he was observing the sky. A big eagle was flying in the sky, going up and up and up and up. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he thought he found a way to the Brahma Loka, Swarga Loka. The big bird went so much high, but within no time it nosedived and it came on the ground. Sitting few feet away from Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he saw that he was busy eating a dead rat. So people who go so high, all of them come down. Only one will find the way up to Paramatma. Manushyanam Sahasreshu. That is Manushyanam Sahasreshu. So among thousands of people, hardly one strives for perfection, and of those, only one may really know me in essence. That is what Paramatma says. It means that only those persons who do not indulge in sensuous pleasures like eating and drinking and enjoying life, sensual gratification, then only one of those people who doesn't get engaged in this, he may try to achieve me. And out of thousands of people trying to achieve me, only one may finally succeed in achieving me. So in short, remember that God is not to be earned like money. We run after a materialistic world day in and day out, running after money. But the God is not to be earned like money. By His grace, He is already earned. And He has deposited Himself in our soul. He is there existing in all the souls. We don't have to earn Him. We don't have to get Him. He is already there, deposited in our mind, our soul. But due to our forgetfulness, we need to rediscover that God. That is the exercise we do through Bhagavad-Gītā. Okay, we go to first sloka now. Bhumirapo nalo vayo kammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme vinna prakritirashtadha. Now here Paramatma gives the details of his apara prakriti. Apara prakriti, that insentient prakriti of Paramatma, which is Jad, which is Achetan. Bhumirapo nalo vayo kammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme vinna prakritirashtadha. Earth, water, fire, air, sky, that means ether, mind, intelligence, and our false ego. Bhumi, up, anal, vayu, kham means sky, mana, buddhi, and ahankar. These 8 constituent make this apara prakriti, Paramatma says. All together, these 8 constitute my separated material energy, that is apara prakriti, which is achetan, insentient. This apara prakriti is also called lower nature or the gross nature. So this is the gross or lower nature of Paramatma. The para prakriti is called higher nature or the subtle nature of Paramatma, superior and sentient nature of Paramatma. Now, in all these, Paramatma says that these 8 constitute my apara prakriti. Earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intellect, and ego. This is the Ashtadha Prakriti, Paramatma says, 8-fold Prakriti of Paramatma, which is Paramatma's Maya. Here, I means not Lord Krishna per se as a person, but means Krishna's supreme Chaitanya, his cosmic presence. not the body physical presence. Now in all these 8 things, we don't see this I, which we often refer to I, my body, I do this, I am happy, I am sad. Where is this I coming from? This I-ness that we move around all the time is our own creation. We believe that this body to be I, everything related to body is mine. But what is this I? Is there any basis for the existence of this I? Paramatma says, earth, water, fire, air, and space. This Panchamahabhuta, the Lord has already made it clear that they belong to Paramatma. They are a part of Paramatma's apara prakriti. They belong to Paramatma. The ownership of all that is with Paramatma. Now it is these same 5 elements that constitute our body. So how can you say that whatever constitutes your body, when it already is belonging to Paramatma, how can the term I come into picture? When everything that makes this body is owned by Paramatma, then where is this I coming from? The $1 million question is, what is this I? Does it really exist? Or we have created it? It is fictitious. Where does it come from? This I, where does it come from? It is as if this I has been thrown free with the package of our body and mind. Take body, take mind, and take your I also. Now play with this your I. We know our I disappears when we go to deep sleep. No thoughts of my mind in our deep sleep. So where does this I go in our deep sleep? And as soon as we wake up, this I again props up. It rears its head again. Where is my tea? Where is my breakfast? Where is my newspaper? My, everything comes. My car, my duty, my job, everything my comes again. And in the night comes the deep sleep and I again gets dissolved. So this I is fictitious, fabricated. It is nothing but an illusion. It is not real. Had it been real, it should have been there forever. If one were to take away their body from you, if somebody takes, I take your body from you, will your I still remain without body? Do you exist in absence of I? The Lord says, earth, water, and everything remains with me. It is under me. All these 8 things belong to me. That is why this Ashtadha Prakriti nature is mine. So what is yours in that? What is yours then? Is there anything that you can call mine? This is mine. Everything that you were saying mine is Paramatma saying it is all mine. So what is yours then? Your individual mind is nothing but a minuscule, very, very small fragment of that Paramatma's cosmic mind. And we keep referring to my mind, my intellect, my body, all my. Do we have any slightest of idea about the vastness of this universe? There are so many galaxies, so many planets, so many asteroids, black holes, and whatnot. Widen your vision. See outside the narrow world of me, my family, my job, my house, my neighbor, my city. Go beyond that. See outside this narrow vision of yours. And this sweepingly vast universe, all you are concerned with, you are obsessed with, your insignificant and inconsequential I. You know, the farthest star that is located by NASA from Earth is 30 billion light years away from us. 30 billion light years. Light travels 176,000 miles per second, multiplied by 60, 1 minute, multiplied by 61 hour, multiplied by 24 1 day, multiplied by 365, 1 light year, multiplied by another 3000. That is the distance at which the star exists. I mean, this is the latest they have found. Maybe after a year they will say, we have found another star, which is again far, far, far away. So this universe, which is existing there, that is also a part of Paramatma's apara prakriti. That is also a part of Paramatma's apara prakriti. In short, God is the origin of whole creation. This eightfold creation, earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intellect, and ego, Ashtadha Prakriti of Paramatma, is called the lower nature or Apara Prakriti. This lower nature is inferior because it has no Chetana in it. So it is inferior, it is insentient, and it is changeful. It keeps changing all the time. Our body keeps changing, this universe keeps changing, everything keeps changing. So it is called the inferior form of Paramatma. Paramatma can never be inferior, but just to make a comparison of Para and Apara, this is called lower nature or inferior nature of Paramatma. We go to fifth shloka. Fifth shloka. Apareyamitastvanyam prakrutim viddhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yedandharyate jagat. Upper, that means that inferior, gross, lower, apara prakriti. Iyam, this. Besides this, ita, besides this apara prakriti, anyam, another prakritim, higher prakriti, vidhi, just know from me, param, superior, Mahabaho is calling for Arjuna, Dharyate Jagat. He is upholding this universe, this material world. So Paramatma says, Aparam bhavato janma, parai janma vyavasatha, kathametad vijaniyan tamado proktavaniti. So this is my apara, gross prakriti, what we discussed in the fourth sloka. My subtle or higher prakriti is different than this apara prakriti. Paramatma says in this sloka, fifth sloka, know my higher prakriti, that is my para prakriti. The life element, that is the prana shakti, chaitanya shakti. This para prakriti is sentient prakriti, chetan prakriti, samvedan prakriti, which is upholding the universe. That means this para prakriti is upholding the apara prakriti. Para prakriti is upholding the apara prakriti. Now, apara refers to the inert, insentient material world, whereas para refers to the higher, transcendental, all-pervasive Paramatma. That means that is the para prakriti, sentient nature of Paramatma prakriti. That para prakriti is holding the entire world. All the knowing, that means Paramatma, we know that Paramatma is omnipresent, sarvavyapi, omniscient, sarvajnani, and omnipotent, sarvashaktiman. And what an amazing quandary that the insentient has been camouflaged. Paramatma, who is sarvavyapi, sarvajnani, sarvashaktiman, his para prakriti, his sentient prakriti, his chetan prakriti has been camouflaged, has been masked by the very insentient prakriti of Paramatma. Insentient prakriti, the apara prakriti has come into existence because of para prakriti, but this apara prakriti is masking, is shielding, is camouflaging the para prakriti. To understand it better, imagine a pond of water above which there is a thick layer of moss. We see moss in most of the ponds. So this entire surface of the pond is covered by moss. Moss is originated from water and it is masking the water itself. So from where it got originated, it is masking and camouflaging that only. You can't see water, you see moss. Paramatma is imperceptible. What we can see is only universe, that moss. This is the quandary, that the creator we cannot see, the creation we can see. The creator we cannot see. And that is the reason that what we see, we keep thinking about that only. The creation, not the creator. Likewise, the Lord says, this inert prakriti, that is apara prakriti, is dependent on the sentient para prakriti. Chaitanya is the very foundation of this insentient prakriti, but this very inert prakriti has masked, has cloaked, it's underplaying sentient prakriti. A layer of something that is covered, moss is covering the water, apara prakriti is covering the para prakriti. So this is how para and apara relation goes. Your body is perceptible, but is your mind perceptible? No. The subtler an entity becomes, the less perceptible it becomes. It is to the senses. You can see the body, but you cannot see your own mind. You cannot see your own intellect. They are imperceptible. Nevertheless, there are other ways of indirectly perceiving the mind. For example, a person's facial expressions can reveal the anger in his mind. Likewise, you cannot gauge anyone's intellect just by looking at him, but the level of his intelligence will be reflected in the way he conducts his life. Then we know, yes, he is an intelligent person or he is not an intelligent person. We keep speculating about person's intelligence by the decisions he takes in his life. Even if you ever meet that fellow after several years, maybe 20 years, you don't give any allowance to the fact that he might have changed in these last 20 years. People change, but your opinion don't change about them. You hold on to your presumptions. So never form rigid or inflexible opinion about anyone, as one can never fail, or one can never, you cannot imagine, you cannot tell when a fool will become wise or vice versa. People keep changing like this world keep changing. Your body, as I said, is perceptible, but your mind, intellect is not. Yet, you are never suspicious of their existence. Are we suspicious of the existence of our mind? No. Then why are you skeptical about the existence of that imperceptible God? The Lord says, the Supreme Soul, that is Parabrahma, is upholding the entire world. It is the very foundation, the crux of entire phenomenal world. So, on one side of our ego I, there is the world, that means lower nature, apara prakriti, and on the other side of this I, our ego, there is God, the higher nature or the para prakriti. And unfortunately, the embodied soul, our Jivatma, instead of accepting his attachment to the God, it accepts his attachment to the lower nature of prakriti. That means Paramatma's Maya, creation rather than the creator. And it sustains it in that form of the world, which leads him to the bondage of birth and death cycle. Had it been that he changes the side and gets attached to Paramatma, then he gets freed from that bond of cycle of birth and death. But he chooses wrongly and he gets attached to the Maya of Paramatma, the Apara Prakriti. Both sides, on his right and left side, you need to choose which side you belong to. In fact, we belong to Paramatma side because he is there with us before our body was given. He is there with us when the body is there, and will continue to remain with us when the body ceases to exist after a few years. But we make a wrong selection and we get attached to this Maya, Apara Prakriti of Paramatma, and then get bondage to this birth and death cycle. In fact, Apara Prakriti has no separate existence at all. In second adhyay, there is a shloka, na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah, ubhayor vidrishtontas tvanayos tattvadarshivih. At no time there is any absence of the truth, the real. Truth is eternal, and on the other hand, although the untruth, the unreal, appears to exist, it is just an illusion. Paramatma said in the second adhyay. Similarly, this Apara Prakriti is an illusion, is a Maya Paramatma. The real God, we don't, it is not coming in our perception. This Prakriti, Apara Prakriti, is changing, deteriorating every moment. The untruth has no existence. Prakriti has no existence because it is changing, deteriorating every moment. Whereas the truth will always prevail. These two are unchangeable fundamental facts. That way, the essence of both truth and untruth is realized by that Tattvadarshibhi, that means that enlightened soul. So this is what Paramatma had said in the second adhyay. Same applies here for Apara and Para Prakriti. We go to 6th shloka now. Etadhyonini bhutani sarvani ityupadharaya Aham Krishnasya Jagada Prabhava Pralayas-tatha. Paramatma says, all things born out of these two prakritis of mine, para and apara. Everything that comes into existence is because of these two prakritis of mine, gross and subtle, or lower and higher, or para and apara, whatever you call it. I am the cause of birth, origin, and destruction of the universe. Aham Krishnasya Jagada Prabhava Pralayas-tatha. And etadyonini bhutani sarvani upadharaya. So everything comes into existence because of me. I maintain them, and everything finally gets destroyed by me only. Know that these two prakritis, para and apara, are the source of all beings. Thus, I am the creator, I am the sustainer, and I am the destroyer of entire universe. The Lord says that both the prakritis, that insentient and sentient, achetan and chetan, emerge from me. That from which insentient and sentient originate is Krishna, is Lord, is Paramatma. And remember, here Krishna refers to the omnipresent Chaitanya of Krishna, the cosmic essence of Krishna, not Krishna per se as a person. What is cosmic essence of Krishna? Not the individual person named Sri Krishna, or not an idol or a photo of Krishna which we can buy from any shop. No, that is not referred here. The cosmic essence of Paramatma is expressed here. We read in newspapers funny things that an ancient idol of Krishna has been stolen from the temple. The newspaper headline says, God stolen from the temple. Funny. Further, the people demand police protection for the temple, for the God. This is very hilarious. Does the God protect you, or you protect the God? Isn't it? When you are providing protection to God, you are protecting God, or God is protecting you? How can God, who needs your protection, can protect you? Is it possible? That is why Lord keeps saying, the one who knows my real essence, not my idol or not my photo, but my real essence, my real nature. Why do we keep an idol of Krishna at home or in the temple? The idol of Krishna is not Krishna, but it does remind of Krishna, and the remembering of Krishna reminds us of the teachings that he has given, he has imparted to us in Bhagavad-Gītā. So that is a way of remembering Paramatma. That idol or photo of Krishna is not Krishna. There is a small story. There was a Muslim general who was not as bad as the Muslims of today, but he had the habit of destroying temples and idols. The people were feeling greatly distressed, and they were worried that their religion would get destroyed. Although it is not true that the religion is not limited to the statues and idols. The religion is the way you conduct yourself, the way you conduct your thoughts, the way you conduct your way of thinking, the way you conduct your life and your heart. That is a religion. How can anyone destroy that? Cannot. So one day a fakir, a yogi, he came to that place and he assured people that he will take care of them. Don't worry about your religion, I will take care of it. Then he took a big picture of that general who was destroying temples and idols of Hinduism. Then he started beating it with his shoes at the main corner of the city. This news went to that general. He called that yogi and he asked him, why are you doing this? You are beating my photo with your shoe? What is this nonsense? The yogi said to the general, this is your photograph. This is not you, no? He said, yes, this is my photograph, not me, but you cannot hit it like this. The yogi said, I salute you. You are taking care of us. You are giving us food. You are giving us shelter. So we are thankful to you. Then why are you beating this? He said, because this is not you. I'm not beating you. I'm beating this photo. The general asked, you call me your caretaker and yet you hit me, you hit my photograph with your shoes. How come that? The yogi replied, your photo is not you. And the way you are conducting, you are destroying the temples and idols where there is no real Paramatma, but people still have the same feeling as you have out of your photo. So understand this, people's sentiment, that when you attack their temples and idols, they have the same feeling as you have. I beat your photo with my shoe and you feel hurt. you are destroying our temples and our idols, how much distressful we feel. So he got the message. Remember, Krishna's idol is indeed very, very endearing. Very lovely to watch Krishna's photo or Krishna's idol, but it is not real Krishna. It is not the Krishna in reality. A devotee worships the individual form of Krishna, the idol regarding it as the form of Ishvara, and see himself as mere Jiva, individual himself. He considers himself as Jiva and Lord is Krishna. So two entities. But what is the highest point of devotion one can have about Krishna? The pinnacle, the topmost point of devotion is when the devotee experiences that formless Chetana of Krishna within himself. When the devotee merges, dissolves himself in that cosmic Chetana of Krishna, Krishna Chetana. So Krishna is the source and the end point of this entire phenomenal world. Krishna is the hub from which everything originates, Prabhava, and Krishna is the place in which everything dissolves, Pralaya. Prabhava, Pralayasthatha. This is the cosmic essence of Krishna, the Parabrahma. Okay, we go to next shloka. 7th shloka. Mattah paradara nanyat kenchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. Mattah paradara. Mattah, beyond me. Paradaram, superior. Protam. Protam is to bow, to get strung. Sutre. Sutra is thread or string. Manigana, a group of pearls. So Paramatma says in this shloka, Arjuna, for this universe, there is no cause higher than me. Matta paradara nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. There is no cause more than higher than me for this universe. As the yarn beads get strung on the thread, likewise all the universe is permeated around me by me. This shloka is also used as a mantra for people who are having backache. How? We'll discuss that. So, how the unmanifested form of creator, that means that para prakriti, is sustaining the manifested form of creator, that means the apara prakriti. In the earlier shloka, Paramatma says, para prakriti is holding the apara prakriti. How is that holding? Paramatma gives an example. And he says, nothing is higher or beyond me or separate from me. All the things, creatures or objects, are linked with me just as the beads of pearl are strung on a thread or on a string. Lord says, nothing whatsoever is distinct from me. Earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intellect, and ego. They are all unified with me. I am everything. There is nothing else other than me. Shri Krishna illustrates this explanation by making a statement giving the example of a piece of string holding together all the beads of pearl, mala. It is the same string passing through all the beads, all the manis. So, likewise, Paramatma says, I am present in everything and every being. That mani represents the apara prakriti of Paramatma. And why it is said mani gana? Because there are so many creatures, 84 lakh yonis, so many creatures. So everyone is woven through that string, which is para prakriti of Paramatma, and is tied together with the para prakriti of Paramatma. So let us understand this more clearly. The apara prakriti, the lower nature or gross nature, in the form of pearl, it is in the form of pearl beads. And para prakriti, that means the higher nature or the subtle nature, is in the form of that string, which is holding all the pearls together. In both, only the God pervades. In the form of pearl beads, there is predominance of apara prakriti, and in the formation of string, there is a predominance of para prakriti. And as I said, manigana has been given in plural number, which means that apara prakriti consists of all moving and non-moving, all aquatic creatures, all land creatures, all sky creatures, 84 lakh units. Everything is covered in that apara prakriti, which is woven around that string of Paramatma, that is para prakriti. In short, whatever you see is Krishna. The one who listens is Krishna. The one you meet is Krishna. And if you regard someone as your enemy, then that is your misperception, because your enemy, so-called, is also Krishna. Can you imagine what will happen if you remove that string from that mala? All the manigana will get scattered and will go haywire. That means if the para prakriti, which is holding apara prakriti, if it takes out its support, the whole universe will collapse in no time. Paramatma can do it in no time. How? Just stop the light coming from sun, and everything stops. The universe gets destroyed in no time. Stop the sunlight, everything gets destroyed. As I said, this shloka is also used for people who have backache. Why backache problem? It is considered our spinal cord as the main part of our body around which whole body is woven. All nervous system is woven around that. So we imagine while chanting this shloka that in spinal cord, Paramatma is present, and our apara prakriti is woven, our body is woven around that para prakriti, which is Paramatma Swarup, which is a form of Paramatma. So imagining Paramatma as spinal cord and our body as apara prakriti, chanting this shloka helps people in curing their backache. That is what people say. Okay, we go to the next shloka now. 8th shloka. Prasohamapsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryayoho pranavas sarva vedeshu shabdakhe paurushandrushu. Rasa means the taste. Aham, I. Apsu means in the water. Asmi, I am. Shashi suryayoho. Shashi, Chandrama, moon, and Surya, of course, the sun god. Pranava is the 3-letter word, that is Onkar, Uma, Onkar. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Onkar. Vedeshu, all Vedas. Shabda, the sound, vibration. Khe means ether, the sky. Paurusham is the ability. Purushartha. Nrushu is the main. So this shloka says, O son of Kunti, Arjuna, I am Kaunteya. Arjuna, I am the sweetness of the water. Rasohamapsu. I am the sweetness, the taste of water. I am the light in the sun and the moon. Prabhasmi shashi suryayoho. Pranavasaro vedeshu. I am the syllable Om in all the Vedas. And I am the sound in the sky. And I am the virality, the Purushartha in the men. Now, every conceivable entity is none other than the Krishna, none other than Lord. So where do you figure in all this? Paramatma says, I am the sweetness of water, I am the light in the sun, in the moon, I am Om, I am the sound, I am the Purushartha of man. Everything says, Paramatma says, I am that. Then where is this I? When you chant Om, the sound is Lord. The mind that chants Om is also formed as a part of Ashtadha Prakriti of Paramatma. The sound in the space, the light in the sun, the moon, the virility in man, everything Paramatma says, that is me, I am everything. This is the cosmic essence of Krishna which says this. When this cosmic essence has been attained, then only the man will see or experience the God in water, in sun, in moon. We need to attain this cosmic essence of Paramatma, then only we'll understand the real meaning of this shloka. Raso hamapsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryayo. How does it happen? We can experience it when we attain that cosmic essence of Krishna. Therefore, the man rises above his ego and accepts himself as a non-doer. Kartruta Bhiman is to be relinquished, is to be given away with. How it can be done? By performing nishkam karma, doing karma without expecting the return and reward, and doing some kind of sadhana to attain that Krishna consciousness or the cosmic essence of Krishna. Then only we can understand this presence of Paramatma all around us. Lord further says, I am the Om of Vedas, Om. Om is the first appearance of God in the nature. From Om appears Gayatri, and from Gayatri the Vedas, which are the source of our Adhyatmic knowledge. This Om is described in details in 8th Adhyaya also. In 8th Adhyaya, Paramatma says, Om ityekaksharam brahma vyaharan mamanusparan yak prayati tyajan deham sayati paramangati. At the end of life, when you are breathing your last, you chant Om mentally, not loudly, and you live your life with chanting of Om yati paramangati. That is the strength of Om. Now, up to slok number 12, 8 to 12, Paramatma reveals his soul's secret and the source of his manifest Vyakta, universe form. That are the vibhutis of Paramatma. Okay, we now go to slok number 9. Punyo gandha prithivyancha tejascha asmi vibhavasau jivanam sarva bhuteshu tapascha asmi tapasvishu. Paramatma says Punya, pure, original. Gandha, Gandha is fragrance, of course. Prithivyancha, Prithivyancha in the earth. Vibhavaso, the fire. Jivanam, the life. Sarva bhuteshu, in all living entities, all living beings. Okay, in short, this shloka says that I am the original fragrance in the earth. I am the heat in the fire. I am the life force of all living beings. And I am the tapa of all tapasvi. I am the penances of all tapasvis. So Paramatma is giving his vibhutis to us. Vibhuti. First thing he says, I am the, now this person who is a tapasvi, when he's praised, he's lauded for his austerity, he says, I'm not doing anything purposely. It is just happening through me. This austerity that is coming to me is happening through, it's happening through me. I'm not doing special efforts for it. The sage, he says, he does not observe silence. Rather, the silence is occurring on its own accord. He is not making special efforts for that. It is just happening. The benefactor, the person who makes charities, he says, he does not do the charities. Rather, that benefaction or the charities simply happen through him. Things are just happening from day to night and night to day. Thus, Paramatma expects, don't bring your I into anything, that I am doing this. Things are happening on their own way. The Lord says, the sweet fragrance emanating from the earth is me. Now, people living in the concrete jungles may have lost the touch with nature. But after a hot summer, when the first few drops of rain fall on the hot and dry earth, the fragrance coming out of earth is just incomparable. Krishna says, I am that pleasant fragrance emanating from the earth. Further, Krishna says, I am the life force present in all living beings. What happens when the life force leaves our body? The body becomes achetan, lifeless, dead. Krishna says, I am that Chetana, the life force in your body of all living beings. There is a small story. There was a shopkeeper, typical Marwadi type, who was well-built, very hefty, grocery shop owner. Doctor told him, take a regular walk and try to reduce your weight. You are more than 100 kgs. This is not correct. Try to reduce your weight, otherwise you will have serious health consequences. He was living on the 3rd floor of an apartment of a building. Every morning, he would climb down all the staircases and he will take a walk for 2-3 kilometers and he will go back, climb the staircase and go to his house on the 3rd apartment, on the 3rd floor. This was happening for many days. One day, this person, hefty, bulky, he climbed down from his apartment. He took a walk, started taking a walk, walked barely 200 meters and he fell down on the road. People rushed to help him. They thought he has got a heart attack, and that was true. He got a heart attack. So people vigorously rubbed his chest to revive him, but everything failed, and the poor fellow died because of heart attack. Now, that person was well known in that area because of his bulky body, as well as because he was the owner of a shop. So people know the shop owners normally in that area. So someone brought a big van With great efforts, they put his body in that van and brought it to the building. But how to take that body from ground floor to for third floor? It was a Herculean task for them. So 15-20 people, by constantly changing the hands and gasping for breath on almost every step, they managed to take his body on the third floor to his house. On the way, many of them probably thought they are going to get heart attack or what. It was so heavy. You know, when people leave their weight on you, you find it very difficult to hold them. Many of you might have experienced this. So this person who was climbing down the staircase, taking walk, again climbing up, taking shower, going back again to his shop, again in the evening climbing the staircase, going to his house, everything was happening. And none people find it so difficult to lift his body and taking up. So all these years, who was taking his body up and down and making it moving here and there? The life force in him. And Paramatma says, I am that life force. When the life force goes, the body becomes dead. I am the life force in all beings. That is a revelation Paramatma makes. God makes our body to move from here and there. Without God, we are just a dead body. The invisible omnipresence of that omnipotent, omniscient Paramatma is explained. Paramatma says, Punyavanda Prathivyancha Tejashasmi Bhavaso Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu Tapaschasmi Tapasvishu. So these shlokas tell that every aspect of life that is attached to us is Paramatma. Nothing but Paramatma. You know, we have a Jataragni in our body. Jataragni, Ayurvedic people know it, that it makes us hungry and it also helps us in digestion of the food. Krishna says, I am Agni. So we eat, we digest, we move around because of Krishna, because of Paramatma. Then where is this I? The air we breathe, Paramatma says, I am the air. The water we drink, Paramatma says, I am water. So it is Paramatma. We become hungry due to our Jataragni, which is again Paramatma. We digest the food, again because of Jataragni, which Paramatma says, I am that Agni. The life force in us, Paramatma says, I am your life force. Then where is this I? I is fictitious. It is the Maya which is making a big fool of all of us by instilling that feeling of I in us. It's just to get you lost in his Maya, making you more difficult to attain him. He is taking a test of us. If you get entangled in our I and then get entangled, entrenched in his Maya, that is what he is wanting. How clever you are to cross over that Maya. Paramatma will give us some tips how we can cross over that Maya. But the one who is hidden behind this Maya, we don't know him. We know only his Maya. Like we know the moss, we don't know the water behind that, below that moss. We know the creation, we don't know the creator. So that is what Paramatma says. We go to quickly to the 10th shloka now. Bijamam sarva bhutanam vidhi partha sanatanam buddhira buddhimatamasmi tejas tejasvinamaham. Bijam is the seed. Paramatma said, I am the seed. Know me as the eternal, Sanatan, seed of all living beings. Everything comes from me, so I am the eternal seed of every living being. I am the intelligence of intelligent, Buddhir Buddhimatamasmi, and Tejas Tejasvinamaham. I am the splendor or the glory of the glorious and the prowess of the powerful. So again, Paramatma is saying what all things he eats. Sri Krishna says, I am the seed, the primordial seed of all things and all beings. You plant a seed in the ground and it grows into a tree. Suppose mango, you eat mango and put that mango seed in your garden. The sapling comes, which takes the shape of a tree later on. Can you see the seed when it grows into a tree? Where is that seed gone? From where it originated, where is that seed gone? You see the tree, you don't see the seed. Is it possible for the seed to stay as it was, yet giving rise to the tree? The tree will arise only when the seed will split and will sprout. The seed cannot remain as seed for the tree to appear. If the tree has to come, the seed has to disintegrate, has to split. But Paramatma says, I am a beautiful, wonderful seed. When the tree that comes out of that seed, when it bears the fruits, each fruit again bears the multitude of seeds. This is indeed a very incredible Maya of Paramatma. The Lord says, I am the seed from which this entire world is originating. Moreover, all the seeds that will be born by that fruit of this world is also me. I am the eternal cause. I am the creation. I am the creator and I am the creation also. I am the intelligence of intelligent. I am the power of powerful. I am the brilliance of brilliant people. Everything is me. So Paramatma is there at every place that we see. Existence of Paramatma. We have to firmly believe the existence of Paramatma. This is a small story of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, a literary scholar. He was very, very knowledgeable person, having read so many things. He was a very literary scholar. He gave a challenge to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, saying that I will come for a debate with you and I will prove it to you. There is no proof of existence of God. With my arguments, I will prove it to you. Are you ready for a debate? Now, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's disciples, they said, this fellow is a very great scholar. Let us not enter into debate with him. Our guru will get lost, definitely, in the debate. So they advised Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, keep away from that person. But Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, no. He has on him himself. He has wanted to come here. So let him come. Let him debate with me. The fellow came one day and he started giving very strong logic argument, trying to prove that there is no proof of existence of God. He spoke for nearly 2 hours with very strong logic. He was trying to prove this point. In between, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, with every strong argument that scholar would make, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa will laugh loudly, joyously. So this kind of reaction was unexpected by that scholar. At the end of 2 hours lecture that he gave, he asked Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, have you understood what I have spoken for 2 hours? You were laughing in between. Have you understood the point? Now all this that I have given with my sound logic, what do you have to say about existence of God you have been talking about? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, after listening to you, first he stood up. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa stood up. He very lovingly embraced that scholar. And then he said, thank you so very much. I profusely thank you for having come here and given me this talk. He said, whatever minutest doubt in some corner of my mind would have been there about existence of God, you have helped me to remove that minutest doubt also. Now I am a firm believer that God does exist. Whatever intelligence you have displayed in last 2 hours, amazing. This cannot be a human being. This intelligence has to come from God only. No human being can have that kind of intelligence that you have displayed now. So I am a firm believer of existence of God now after you came here. I might have some slight doubt here and there, even that has vanished now. That is the way we have to look at everything around us, that it is Paramatma. That means if everyone is singing well, know that Krishna is singing well. If anybody is dancing well, know that Krishna is dancing. Anybody is doing painting well, understand that Krishna is painting. Anybody is talking well, speaking well, good, great orator, Krishna is speaking. So this world which are emerging, this whatever I am talking to you during this sort of vivechana, I am not a great scholar, of course, but whatever I am speaking to you, do you think that this is Vikas Vaidya who is speaking to you about Geeta? I am a very dumb fellow, honestly. I don't understand much. But when I sit on this chair and start talking about Geeta or Vishnu Sahasranam, something happens to me and I keep talking endlessly sometimes. So it is Krishna's grace that the words come to my mouth and I speak. And who is listening? Krishna is the orator, Krishna is the listener, and Krishna is the subject of discussion. This is truly amazing drama of Krishna only. This is Para Prakriti, the divine, which is holding the Apara Prakriti, Paramatma says. Your I does not exist, does not figure out in this scheme of things. Anywhere does it exist? Can you point out where is this I? Your I is nothing but fictitious imaginary entity. All the basic purpose of all spiritual practices that we follow is to destroy this false I. Then all that will remain within us and outside us will all be only and only Krishna. And we have to attain that stage. Okay, we move on to the next shloka now. Let us go on to shloka number 11. Balam balavatayin chaham kamaraga vivarjitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshabha. I think this shloka we will take in the next session. We'll stop for the day today. And the session is now open for you to put up your questions. We'll try our best to give answers to your questions. So let us stop here and take the remaining shlokas of this adhyaya. This is a very profound knowledge giving adhyaya. So I might have crossed my time limit. Sorry for that. But this is the adhyaya which gives us Jnana and Vijnana. How can we cover Jnana and Vijnana in a short time of half an hour or 1 hour? Very difficult. So to restrict to a time limit of some 50, 40, 60 minutes is sometimes difficult. Sorry for that. Let us start the question answers. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna Dada Pranam. Now it's time for question answer session. So whoever has a question, please raise your hand and switch on your camera. Yes.
Jai Shri Krishna, Bhaiya and Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna.
I have two questions, Bhaiya.
Yeah.
When God created the universe and the everything that dwells in the universe, there were no people are all new, right? So they were not no poppies on the earth at that point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So if there was no poppies on the earth, then why create Apara Prakriti at all?
Why create?
Apara Prakriti. Apara.
Okay.
So I'm wondering.
The reason for creation of Apara Prakriti is Paramatma has shown to us how you have come into existence. You have come into existence, Bhumi Rapo Nolo Vayo Kham Mano Buddhi Revacha Ahankara Iti Amme Bhinna Prakriti Ashtada. This nature, which is Ashtada, eightfold, which consists of this Bhumi Rapo and all that, you have come to existence because of that. If we would have understood this fact right in the beginning, then Paramatma would never bother to create pap and poppies and all that. We have forgotten this fact, and then we got entangled in Paramatma's Maya, forgetting that we are created by him out of all these Panchamahabhuta, Buddhi, Man are all cosmic. Nothing belongs to us. I have repeatedly said in today's sort of revision that nothing belongs to us. I is fictitious, but we're still claiming I. And when we were created right in the beginning, when Brahmadeva created this Srishti and he created the laws for running this Srishti, we forgot those rules. And as I said, on one side of I is this material world, Apara Prakriti, and another side of I is this Para Prakriti, the Paramatma. We chose the wrong side and we sided with Apara Prakriti, and that is the reason that all pap and poppies get created. If right in the beginning we take the side of Para Prakriti, this would not have happened. But we are to be blamed for all that is happening in our life. So that is the reason that pap and poppies get created, because we have chosen the wrong side. We are standing with Apara instead of Para.
So what you're saying is basically we started pure, but then we chose the wrong path.
We chose the wrong side, yes. We chose the wrong partner in our life. We chose Apara Prakriti as our partner in the life. We did not choose Paramatma as our partner. You would have done that, then we would not have faced this predicament in our life.
Okay. Then the second question, Bhaiya, is
Yeah.
you said take Om sound at the end.
Yes.
and then, right? But we also say take God's name at the end, right? So is Om different from God's name, or why should we take Om or God's name? Which one is better?
See, Om is God's name also. A-U-Ma. It consists of A-U-Ma. A is the creator, Brahmadeva. U is Bhagavan Vishnu, the maintainer. And Ma is Rudra, who destroys this one. So A-U-Ma, which creates this Om, is nothing but Paramatma's calling in one name. Om. Om itte ka akshar, one akshar Parabrahma. Om is one akshar Parabrahma, and that is nothing but Paramatma's name. Om. That's why when I briefly discuss about 8th Adhyay, you chant Om mentally when you are at the end of our life. And then this Om has the power to take you to Paramgati. In 5th Adhyay, we have studied that we have Navadvare Pure Dehi Naiva Kurvanna Karayan, but there is a 10th gate here at the Brahmarandra, here at the top of our skull. Yogis, they open that 10th gate. And while chanting Om mentally, the pranas leave from this 10th gate, they attain Paramgati, they attain Paramatma. That is the importance of Om in our life. That's why many people, instead of taking different names, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, or Jai Shri Krishna and all that, they keep doing only Om, Om, Om. Because they find Paramatma in that Om. They have understood the meaning of Om. That Om is creation, maintenance, and dissolution. So that is the importance of Om. Om is very, very important.
Yeah. Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you very much for that.
Any other questions, please?
Can I ask the question, Dada? Namaskar.
Namaskar, namaskar.
You mentioned about one word, Tattvamasi.
Yes, yes.
And you know how that word, if it is broken into 3 words, Tat, Tvam, and Asi, and the relevant chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, which are attached to these 3 words, can you slightly elaborate on this? I was not very clear about it.
Okay, it's like this. This is a Veda Vakya, Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. And Bhagavad Gita, which is of 18 chapters, it is constituted of these 3 parts, Tat, Tvam, and Asi.
Okay.
Divided based on message of Paramatma, Tattvamasi. It gets divided in 3 parts of 6 adhyaya each. The big sentence Mahavakya, Veda Vakya is Tattvamasi, meaning that you are. Whatever is that, you are. The first 6 adhyaya, right from Arjuna Vishad Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Karma Sannyasa Yoga, and Atma Sanyam Yoga. They are Tvam. Tvam means related to Jivatma. In second adhyaya also we read about Tvam, Tvam, Tvam. So this is about the Tvam, Jivatma, which is a fragment of Paramatma. Of course, we understand that. Adhyaya 7 to 12, Jnana Vidyana Yoga, Akshara Brahma Yoga, Raja Vidya Rajagohi Yoga, Vibhuti Yoga, Vishwarupa Darshan Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. 12th adhyaya. This further 6 adhyaya, they tell us about the Tat. Tat means that. That means that Paramatma Tattva. So we have first understood about Tvam, that means our Jivatma. The next 6 adhyaya teaches about Tat, that means that Paramatma Tattva. So we understood 2 important things about Jivatma and about Paramatma. And the last 6 adhyaya, 13 to 18, Kshetra Vibhaga Yoga, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, Purushottam Yoga, Daivasur Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga, and Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. These 6 adhyaya, they tell us about Asi. Asi means the unification of Tat and Tvam. So the sentence that comes is Tattvamasi, Jivatma, Paramatma. Jivatma is Paramatma. And that is what Gita teaches us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dhanyavad, Dada. Thank you so much. Jai Shri Krishna.
Sushma ji. Sushma ji, you have to unmute yourself. Didi, I send you the request. You have to, yes. Didi, you are mute again. Just you have to unmute again. Yes, now we can speak.
So, Bhaiya, Jai Shri Krishna, I wanted to give you a little bit of my background before I ask the question. I'm one
Yeah.
of the pulmonologists here in United States of America, and prior to that, I was in India, and I'm youngest in the family. And I, being a girl, my parents didn't want to come to US to join my brothers, and
Mhm.
in our way of the life, parents, they live with the son. So long story short, I came here. I had to go through, whatever studies that you have to sort of take, because they don't recognize everything from
Mhm.
India. So I was an eye surgeon back home, but over here I became pulmonologist, and I also practice sleep medicine. So the constant questioning that I do of myself is couple of things. Number one, I have clearly understood that whatever I have, in terms of whatever I'm able to do for my patients, is because of God's blessings. Whatever intellect He has given me. Um, and I always want to do the very best for my patients. Now sometimes it's very difficult because you work with other individuals that are part of your department, including like the technicians who work with the patients
Mhm.
during the daytime, the ones that worked in the nighttime, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And not being impolite towards any particular individual, including my supervisors or people that are part of the administration, most times their insight into whatever work that you are doing is such
Mm.
that, number one, they only want productivity, meaning the people higher up, and then the
Mhm.
people that are like technicians, they are very, very good, but some people that are in between, like the supervisors, etc., for most of the times, the way I have seen it is that whether whatever it is that one person is doing, whether it is materializing into the good health for the patient, is
Mhm.
not at the center or the core. It is always about, just trying to, it almost makes you feel like they don't care about, what it is translating into, sort of, whatever it is being done, as long as the numbers are higher. Anyway, so I don't have problem, and I have been, part of this particular. So the organization is Veterans Administration. So
Okay, but
we
what is the
take care of
question?
the
What is your
signing.
question?
So the question is this: that I don't get any time to sit down, and in the last adhyay we learned about like sitting straight, closing the eyes, and kind of, either thinking about the God or trying to experience the God, etc., etc. So in my body, I know that everything that I have is God given, and that I'm trying and striving to, make the connection with the God. But unfortunately, since, most of the time is spent in the worldly life, 100% of the time, I am not able to remind myself that, everybody has God within them, and everything that I am doing is like, Bhagwan ka kam, nishkam karma, and all of the above. So it's a constant struggle in the sense that, whether I making the right decision by just continuing to do this, like karma, which is working in the organization, because I do have other responsibilities, like, I'm the what you call, my mother-in-law is in a nursing home because she had some ailments, etc., and she cannot ambulate with a walker, so we had to put her in a different state because she doesn't speak English. So without getting into the nuts and bolts, when I read this sloka, Manushyanam Sahasresu Kashti Datati Siddhaye Yatatam Api Siddhanam. So I'm constantly sort of having this battle within my mind as to, maybe I haven't taken the right path, in the sense that I don't get time to kind of read Bhagavad Gita or memorize Bhagavad Gita, or sort of, I'm not 100% of the time nishkam karma, because I do get disturbed, or I do become stressful because I have a human body that is sort of reacting to the excess of the work that I'm incurring, etc. So I'm not complaining by any means, but I'm just having this struggle as to, am I spending my time like how it needs to be? Because I definitely want to kind of be somebody that God is very proud of. And I'm not sure that I am able to kind of decide for myself what I need to do. I'm very prasanna and very happy with whatever I'm doing, but I'm not sure that I feel it that way 100% of the time. I hope I'm making myself clear.
Okay. Whatever I can make out of your long lecture is that your mind is getting little scattered, running in different directions, whether to focus more on your duty and on your material world, or whether to focus on Bhagavad Gita, which you find that Manushanam Sahasreshu Kashtidisiddhe, you are not finding yourself to be the one who can really focus on Paramatma. So you are about that one among those thousands and thousands of people who are trying but who will never succeed. But the question is, did Gita ask you to leave your job and do only bhakti? No.
So I haven't left the job.
So that is what I am saying you, that Gita doesn't ask you to stop your karma, keep doing your karma. And in 8th Adhyaya, there is a shlok, Mama Nusmar Yuddheja. You remember me and also do your kartavya karma. Mama Nusmar Yuddheja. This was a message to Arjuna. Yuddha, he was to do Yuddha, that's why the message to him was Yuddha. But that charan of that shloka of 8th Adhyaya says that you do your kartavya karma, and while doing kartavya karma, you remember me also. So Mama Nusmara and Yuddheja. So Gita never says you stop your karma. But while doing karma, you keep remembering me. A moment comes when Paramatma gets established in our karma. And then whatever karma we do becomes a God-gifted karma. We start seeing Paramatma everywhere around us. That is the message. That you keep doing your karma, but don't consider Paramatma as different than that karma. Your karma is Paramatma. Work is worship. Work is worship. With that sentiment you should do. Don't do it for any selfish intent that I will get great reputation or I will get great money out of my karma. You do it as a worship and offer it to Paramatma. If you offer your worship as work to Paramatma, nothing more needs to be done. So continue to do the way you do, but only with this thinking, with this sentiment that you are doing all this work as a worship to Krishna. Then
Yeah, I'm sorry I took long time, but I just wanted to make sure I was clear in my mind so that you really understood.
Yes,
so sorry for the time that I took.
You start considering your work as worship, and at the end of the day, say Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Then don't take any burden on your mind at all when you go to bed in the night. Next day morning, again you start doing the work, and at the end of the day, Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. So work becomes worship. You don't get involved in the karma bandhana when work is worship and you are offering everything to God. To get rid of this burden of karma on your shoulders, offer it to Paramatma. Paramatma is ready to shoulder your burden. So why not to give it to him? He is ready to shoulder the burden of all 800 crores of people in the world. If we are not sharing our burden with him, then we are to blame ourselves. He is offering his shoulder to us. Do your work, do your karma, and offer it to me as a worship. I am prepared to accept.
Thank you so much. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna.
Sriman
Guruji, one small question regarding this last, that is the 10th sloka.
Yeah.
Bhijam mam sarvabhutanam vidhi partha sanatanam annaru. He told like that. In that one, Bijam mam sarvabhutanam, all in all beings, all creatures, I am the parent.
They all emanate from me. They all emanate from me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Is the Moola. Is the Moola. Paramatma is the Moola. So
Yes, sir.
then all have the same Gotra. That is Parabrahma Gotra.
Hmm.
Okay. Parabrahma Gotra. Then
Hmm.
why this all different Gotras have came up with a different caste like that Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. The Bija is same. The Bija is Paramatma. Then all this
Yes.
creatures got
Yes.
this different Gotras, different caste
Yes.
systems.
Yes.
Why?
Okay. See, the explanation is given in Gita itself. When Paramatma created these 4 divisions in the society, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Parantapa, he has said in the next line, Karmani Pravivaktani Swahava Prabhaver Gunai. So this
Okay.
division has been made based on karma and guna. Now all 5 fingers are not same, isn't it? Similarly,
Yes.
all human beings are not same. Some has different qualities, gunas, some has other qualities and gunas. Somebody's karmas are good, somebody's karmas are not so good. Somebody is very intellectual, some intelligent person. He can imagine about Nirgun Nirakar Paramatma. Somebody is not so intelligent. He cannot imagine what is Nirgun Nirakar. He wants to see a photo of Paramatma in front of him and he can do the worshipping of Sagun Sakar. So every individual is different. Every individual is different. Now these
But the
divisions,
Bija is
Brahma,
but by Bija is one.
Bija is one. Bija is one. Bija is one. All 84 lakh yonis, they emanate from one Bija. And that Bija is Avyayam. Normally the Bija gets destructed itself, but this Bija is Avyayam. He never gets destructed. Despite producing
Sanatana.
84 yonis, this Bija is Avyayam.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
Deepak ji.
Namaskar. My question is related to Om, which we discussed in the very beginning. Somebody had asked that question. So now I am in a habit of chanting Om Namah Shivaya mentally. So whenever I'm not doing anything or doing something mechanically, this chant goes on. So is it better that I only chant Om instead of Om Namah Shivaya?
The name of Paramatma. You can say Om Krishnaya Namaha also, Om Ramaya Namaha also, or Om Namah Shivaya also. When you say Om Namah Shivaya, you are giving a message. You are taking 3 names of Paramatma, Uma, creator, maintainer, and destroyer. Plus you are offering your Namaskar to him, obeisance to him. And Shivaya, you are taking Shiva's name also. So Om Namah Shivaya, you are remembering Paramatma 4, 5, 6 times in one mantra itself. So keep chanting Om Namah Shivaya. Keep chanting Om Namah Shivaya.
Okay. And related this second question, because in earlier Vivechana, we were told that women should not chant Om. Instead of Om Namah Shivaya, they should say Namah Shivaya. So how it goes? What should they or should they not
See,
do this
chanting of
chanting?
Om by ladies is not prohibited, honestly. Only chanting of Gayatri Mantra is restricted.
Okay.
Because it has some different biological impact on the body, which may, they say, how much to believe, I don't know, honestly, but it may make ladies infertile. That is what they say. So that's why ladies are not advised to chant Gayatri Mantra repeatedly. Saying it once, twice, 10 times is all right. But people who chant Gayatri Mantra, they go up to 24 lakhs chanting of Gayatri Mantra. If you chant it so many times, your body definitely undergoes physical, mental changes. And those changes are detrimental to ladies. That's why they say Gayatri Mantra should not be chanted by ladies. But chanting of Om is not prohibited.
Okay. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.
Priyadarshan ji.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
I wanted to ask you whether these avatars which have been there so far always been on earth, firstly, and probably all of them in Bharat. So, is that so? I mean, that the next avatar will also be in Bharat and not anywhere else in the world or in the universe?
See, we are in India, so we can see things around us. If we were in Africa, probably you would have seen Paramatma in Africa also. Paramatma is omnipresent. He is there in every part, nook and corner of the universe. It is for us to see where is Paramatma. Because we are born and brought up, our culture is Bharatiya, Indian, Sanatan. That's why we are taught to see Paramatma around us, in and around us.
I'm talking about the
Avatar. Avatar Paramatma, you see, this universe is created by Paramatma. So he can take his avatar anywhere, no? He can take his avatar in Europe also, in America also. But the thing is,
Bhavati Bharata.
what is that?
Dharmasya glanar bhavati Bharata.
Bharata means not Bharati, Desh. Yadai dharmasya glanar bhavati Bharata, abhyuttama dharmasya tadatmanam surja. Bharat is the calling for Arjuna. Bharat. Not for Bharat as the Desh.
Okay.
It doesn't say I will take my incarnation only in India as Bharat. This entire universe is Paramatma. So you can take its incarnation at any place in the world, any place in the universe. It is for us to see him.
Has taken place, I suppose, mainly in Bharat. Where else it has taken place, I don't know.
You see, now if you go to USA or you go to Europe, they consider Yeshu Krista as a Paramatma. If you go to 57 of Islamic countries, they consider Muhammad as Paramatma, as God. So it depends on your belief and your upbringing, based on which you start believing that particular entity as Paramatma. But now we are in India, so we look at Krishna, Shri Rama as Paramatma. But they see Krishna as Paramatma.
Okay. But except creating a following for themselves, I don't think they have done anything to correct any good over evil or anything like that.
So that varies from religion to religion. Propagating religion the way Islamis have done, no other religion has done, unfortunately. And that is why we are suffering at their hands. The whole world is suffering at their hands because they are responding by hook or crook, by killing, by paying money, by whatever means. But our culture does not teach us to enter into violence, and that is being taken disadvantage of. So that's why we have to wake up and now protect our religion.
But
so what way?
We must get up and fight against this.
Yeah, we must get up and fight. Don't expect that every time Krishna will come and rescue you from your problems. Unless you move your hands and legs, why Paramatma will come to your rescue all the time? You don't want to do anything. You want to do only chanting of Paramatma, God save me, God save me, God save me. And look at the sky. That boy will come from the sky and will save you. Paramatma said, you do your karma and remember me. Then I will come to your rescue. You don't do your karma and you ask me to rescue you. That is not possible. So we need to do our karma. If our karma is to protect the religion, we need to stand up united and protect our religion, come what may. Some of us may have to sacrifice our lives, but we have to be ready for that. That is our karma. Then only Paramatma will come to our rescue and help the religion.
Agreed.
That is guaranteed. That is guaranteed. But so far, such preparedness has not been shown by Hindus. Such preparedness that come what may, we protect our religion. Very sorry to say, but even our Shankaracharyas are not helping us to get united. Whatever happening in that Tirupati Mandir, the prasadam that is created, that is having, they say, some beef content and all that.
Yes.
No Hindu Shankaracharya has said a word about it. If this would have happened about Islamic or Christian people, they would have made earth and sky down. But our religious gods so far, they have not uttered a single word about it. Why not? So are we not feeling bad about it? That our prasadam, which is offered to Tirupati, is having beef content? But that shows our sluggishness, our lethargy about our religion. Unless this lethargy is shred off, we cannot imagine that our religion becomes strong again. So all of us, in whatever capacity we are, we have to stand united and protest. The least we can do is take the recourse to social media and keep expressing your opinions. At least that much we can do. Write on all possible logs. Write on all possible social platforms about what you strongly feel about.
Yeah, but even if I want to fight today, astra nahi, shastra nahi, kai karnar?
What is that?
We don't have any astra or shastra.
No, you don't need astra and shastra for fighting.
I would like
You don't need astra and shastra. Whatever shastra you have, your pain, your mind, are we really using that? At least that. Nobody expects you to buy a gun and shoot people. Nobody expecting you to do that. We don't want to take law in our hands. But whatever is at our disposal, are we making a good use of it? Are we spreading the Gita to all the people among Hindus that read Gita and find out how we should live our life? Are we protesting strongly about what is happening about anti-Hindu, anti-religion in the world, or in India at least? We are not. We are reading newspaper, we are watching TV and closing our eyes and going to bed. This way, we cannot expect that God will come to our rescue. Isn't it?
Right. That's right.
We need to do our part of the job. If we need to do our part of the job, then God is there all the time for you.
Okay. The long subject.
Thank you. Long subject, right?
Okay.
Jai Shri Krishna Dada, one more question. Can females chant Omkar? Can females chant Omkar? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what I said. That there nowhere it is. See, every mantra in Hindu Dharma, whether you say Veda or anything, it starts with Om. If Om is prohibited for ladies, then forget about any mantra for ladies, because every mantra starts with Om only. So it is not true to say that Om cannot be chanted by ladies. Om Namah Shivaya you can chant. Om Anantaya Namah, Om Govindaya Namah, Om Purushottamaya Namah you can chant. Wherever Om is there, Om is Paramatma's name. So Om is not prohibited. Ladies are not prohibited from chanting Om. But as I said, Gayatri mantra, Om Bhuru Swa Tatsatidhar Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimami Dhiyona Prachodayata. This mantra, some people say that it's not advisable for ladies because it creates huge physiological effect on the body, which is not good for ladies for their fertility. That is the opinion some people have expressed. Okay, any other questions, or should we stop the session today? Next question, next time.
Bhaiya, one last question, Bhaiya. I have some questions that I don't think we have time to discuss here. How can I reach you? How can I reach you?
Reach where?
Can I send you a message or something like that, or call you, or is there possibility of that?
You can reach me anywhere in Geeta Pariwar. I'm available at all times.
Okay. So should I send you a message or call you, or how does that work?
Whatever you choose. You are in America, so take note of the time difference, and then you can call me. You can send me a message. Better to send me a message first, and then we can discuss.
Okay. Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Bhaiya, for clarifying the doubts of each participants thoroughly and explaining them the thorough meaning of Gnana Vijnana Yoga. And now we'll move to the prayer. But before that, last but not the least, I would like to thank the Tech Backend team for making this event a grand success. Now it's time for the prayer. I will call upon Usha Kumari ji from Tiruvananthapuram, housewife, serving as trainer in L2 Malayalam batch. Welcome, Didi, for the prayer.
दीदी आप ले लीजिए.
जी दीदी. योगेशं सच्चिदानन्दं वासुदेवं व्रजप्रियं धर्मसंस्थापकं वीरं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna all. Now we'll chant Hanuman Chalisa. Being on the mute, please chant Hanuman Chalisa.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी बरनउ रघुबर वर विमल जसु जो दायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र औ ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबेको आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबेको रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिंहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही समभाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीना तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर पल जानु प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आपै तीनों लोक हाकते कापै भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जब नाम सुनावै नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़ हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय।
Thank you everyone for attending this session. Knowledge gained here will be used all over your life. Now we'll meet next week. Till then, learn Geeta, teach Geeta, and live Geeta in your life. Jai Shri Krishna.